Hey, we're back.
Yeah,
We're back. Trent and Brian coming back at you. Or heck, Dr. Kerr actually and Brian coming back
Yeah, good
at
night,
you.
thanks.
Yeah.
A little respect.
Hardline Health and Fitness. We took a little hiatus.
Oh my gosh. It's been
Oh.
since like May
It's-
15th.
It's been since like the weekend that you were going to state track.
State track.
And then we had graduations, we had weddings. Producer Trent's been married in the time that we've been off
And
and knocked up.
I was just
Yeah.
okay,
Dang.
you put it
Yeah.
way more eloquently than I could have.
She's been married off and knocked up within, I guess it hasn't been like a super small time, but yeah. So
Honeymoon. She's done it all.
yeah, she has done it. So welcome back, producer Trent. She's busy behind the
She's
scenes.
like-
She
she's
said
not talking.
thanks. Anyway, yes, it's been a long time. We're back. We're excited about it. But what's been going on? What's been going on with you?
I think the same thing as always goes on. We just chase kids. You got volleyball going on now, which
Yep.
is extremely exciting. Everything's going pretty well
Yes.
for the volleyball crew.
Yeah.
Football's going on. Middle school volleyball, they have their tournament this weekend.
Yeah,
so,
you got two girls you're chasing around,
We
both
are.
on pretty successful teams right now.
Yeah, things are going well.
Things
So,
are going pretty well.
yeah, we go to Ray tomorrow for Carson's, and that finishes the middle school season.
Oh, it's
So
done.
then, yeah. But then we start up hoops right away. So
Oh yeah, because that's you.
we have Nico coming up, yeah. And then December we get to playing. So we're
Very,
right on it.
very cool. We've got about a month and a half left, God
Yep.
willing. And then we go from there.
I think you're there. Just looking at the regional pairings last night. I know those change overnight, but still
Yeah.
sitting at one.
Still
Central
sitting at
County's
one,
looking at three. So I think
Still
things
sitting
are,
at one. Yeah, and I didn't look at them last night, but I have been looking at obviously RPIs. We got a strong RPI. We play the right people.
you do.
Play the right people. Iron sharpens iron. Big tournament at the end of the year for us, which is going to be a great measuring stick. No 2A teams are there. However,
Sterling,
very, very, very strong 1A team is there.
Marino's still
And
there.
Marino, and then Sterling, Lamar, and Alamos.
Is Lamar still what Lamar was? And Alamos, I know. Alamos
Lamar
had
is not what
last year,
Lamar
too.
was, but Lamar is good, and Alamos is good, and Sterling is good.
Yes.
So,
Sterling's better than they would have been.
Good, solid teams. Lamar last year, juggernaut, obviously, with Sydney. She did graduate, but you got a juggernaut in Marino in 1A,
Yeah, you do.
obviously. 3-time defending state champ. Looks like they could pull out 4 if I had to be a betting man on high school sports, which I'm not.
It's coming.
Yeah,
So
so
FanDuel.
so yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing, but we look forward to playing them again, right? So
You need to.
yeah,
You need to go back in and get that.
yeah.
one. So
Look forward to playing them again. Look forward to that tournament, and then obviously finishing off conference play, and then letting our girls handle business. So
weak things break.
weak
We are
things
weak.
break, and that ain't us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So. And then after that, they usually hear push up because they're
You
doing
were doing it the other
push ups.
night.
Yeah.
So that's good. Yeah, let's talk about that. How is that going this season with trying to change? I know that's what we talked about earlier, changing the mental state of this team.
Could I say to be determined?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We still have, like you said, a month and a half left.
Yeah,
right?
so I think it is better, right? And I think it's better with girls getting older. But, you know, you have some, how do I say this? We're kind of all over the place with mentally strong and then some that are still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's a team sport. So we'll kind of see at the end. I think we are a lot better. I think we go in with a lot more confidence, but yeah, to be determined, right? That's going to be when push comes to shove, weak things break.
Yeah.
Right now, you know, we have 2 losses, but they're two number one ranked teams.
3A, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 1 and 1A.
So can't be too disappointed. We hope to compete better in 1, but I think we'll be fine. And yeah, so to be determined, I think we are on the right path.
What have you done? And just kind of talking about this whole mental state
Right.
of it. And so what have you done to try to, I wouldn't say, because I thought last year's team was fairly tough and shoot,
Yeah.
everything we did, you know, went in, beat Central County right away, beat Marino, all these things. I thought our mindset was right. But then
Regular
we get there
season.
and we struggle, right, in
Right.
the postseason. So what is it that you've done and really focused on this season to change that mental state of this
Well, I should say, you know, what I've done individually is, you know, I'm in charge of getting them prepared physically.
Right.
That's my biggest thing, right? We have a great coaching staff between Michelle, Aaron, Bailey, and then there's myself, right? But those three are the brains of the operation, right?
Well, of course. Yeah.
You know,
Hey, they
and
trusted you almost to be by yourself last night.
almost.
Bailey,
But,
thanks for stepping in.
They do a great job as far as strategies, tactics, implementation of volleyball, right? I'm there to when we have a 5-set match or we need to be mentally tough, that physically they're there. Because as we all know, we're in a hard workout. You're doing your half marathon, your half Ironman thing. If physically we're tired, mentally we can shut her down.
Yeah, fatigue makes cowards out of everybody, right?
Yes. So my biggest thing is to not let that happen, is to get them physically prepared enough and put them through enough hard workouts that when they get into a 5th set, when they get up into an opposing team that is leaning on them, that they can be like, we've been here. We've been through tougher, right? So that's my biggest change. I'd like to say that I got to be a harder ass and this and that, but I'm soft. I'm soft in that I can't be a dick, right? So
I can.
yeah, sure. But yeah, so as far as just like, it's just implementing toughness as far as physical, so they can lean back and learn back to that and say, yeah, we've been through tougher. We've been here. Weak things break, and that ain't us. Push up.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that's what I've done. Last year, we still did workouts, right? But just the way our season's set up, we had some times where we couldn't work them out as hard as we wanted.
Yeah.
Just because the way things laid out. This year it laid out better for us at the beginning of the year, the first month especially, we got to just hammer.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we're still trying to do that.
And now you're kind of in that grind here the next couple of weeks where you had a Thursday, Friday last week.
Right.
And you have Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you have a
Kind of spreads out a little bit for us now near the
Okay.
end, where we have, we had just one this week. We have one tough one at the beginning of next week, and then we'll have some time. So we can still kind of sharpen that a little bit before we get to the Sterling tournament. And then you're right into regionals and state. And it still gives you an opportunity to hone in up here, right?
I love it. And I think that's one big thing that even us coming back to what we do is that whole mental state and
Right.
that whole mental toughness is you get into a workout, you get into a grind, you get into, oh, we're supposed to eat right, we're supposed to do this. And it can just take over what you're trying to do. And if you aren't prepared for it, weak things do break, right?
Oh, we think so, break, yes.
So it's good to be able to train for that and get those girls in.
And it's kind of funny, depending on what you're training, you can gain mental toughness in one area and be weak as hell in another. Like I've been training some endurance stuff, right? Well, I went back and I tried to hit a fairly intense CrossFit workout the other day. Weak things broke, man. My mind was the first thing to be like, this hurts. This is hard. This is heavy. Oh, I'm going to kick it back. But it's just funny how, but you can go out on a 10, 12 mile run and that's fine.
It's easy for you.
But you can go into a 8-minute workout and be like, ooh, this is so tough, man. It's just like, what?
Let's hear that. What are you doing? Yeah, what's going on here?
So here's the plan,
All right.
And the date has been set for next year, but June 28th of next year, I'll be doing a 100-mile run, endurance run.
June 28th, 100 miles.
Yeah, Washington State. It's called the Yeti 100 Endurance. And
Is that part of the Yeti Den Challenge that we have?
Yeah, it could be.
Different?
Yeah, we can do it.
All right.
Add it to the Yeti Den. Complete 100-miler. We'll give you a T-shirt.
T-shirt.
But so that's the plan. Kind of ramped up training starting last month. It's going fairly good. The worry was always, how's the body going to take it?
Right.
The 50 I did prior was before the accident. So, just worried about how hips, how back. So far, so good. Have a little heel, like plantar fascia issue, but whatever.
Everything's all right.
Yeah.
Plantar fascia though, but that could
Sucks.
turn into something if you don't take care
and
of
the
it.
funny thing is like when you run with plantar fascia, it's like not horrible, right?
Yeah.
It's when you're done,
Right.
when you wake up in the morning. So
You
like
gotta make sure
I ran this morning, drove here, got out of the truck, was like, but it's like,
Take
it
a couple
didn't-
minutes to get to walking.
yeah, it
and-
didn't matter for 10 miles, but it does now for 2 minutes. You know,
It
it's,
is.
it's
It's so bad.
ridiculous.
So bad.
But yeah, so what about you? What's on I see some workouts on that whiteboard that look rather, how do I say this? I've seen them before,
Yeah.
preparing for a certain race that I've
Well,
done.
so I did, so last year, so I did kind of like the whole year, right, of the JAG programming that I've been doing, but wanted to sprinkle some things in. So I went
Just a
through-
guy or girl?
Yeah. Or gi, we don't know. You could be
Yeah.
anything.
Guy Harris. Yeah.
anymore.
So
I
anyway,
love Keith Harris.
so yeah, JAG programming, got a question? Let us
Yeah.
know.
So what I've done with that is I wanted to maintain being an athlete with it too, right? As going through and trying to get more aesthetics. But so last year, so started off the programming and then did the triathlon, just the half tri.
Yep.
And then after that, you know,
It's not a half try, guys, a half Ironman.
half Ironman.
triathlon.
Yeah, sorry, my
Because a half try would be like, swim maybe, and then bike.
half Ironman.
Yeah, you know,
And then pulled that into, you know, I wanted to get a little more strength, so wanted to join the 1,000-pound club for the first time.
Yep.
So did that. And then after that, we had the 24-hour hero WOD, so I kind of tried to, you know, train a little bit for that, get
Right.
ready for 24
Right.
hours of, oh man, that was completely different than anything I've ever done in my life.
me too, yeah.
And it was awesome. It was so fun.
It was awesome. It was fun after.
After, and I think it's something we need to
Like
do
3
again.
a.m. it wasn't.
No, it was not. We need to do again, but maybe morph it into something else. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it
It's
out.
a great mental toughness
It was,
as
yeah.
well. So, and then after that, you've done the High Rocks,
I have.
where
It's one of the hardest
they
things
call
I've
it
ever done.
the ultimate physical fitness test, right?
It's an ultimate test of fitness.
Yeah.
Is what it is. That's their
So-
tagline, which I'll admit
Oh.
it is something.
It is.
Like it is really
And
hard.
it's a mental toughness
Very much so.
for sure. I mean, everything across it, and you know, with the 1,000-meter run in between, sandwiched in between so many other events.
So yeah, for you guys
where-
that don't know, it's Hyrox. It's HYROX. And what Trent's explaining is it's basically 8 stations with a 1,000-meter run leading into eight
Into eight
stations.
stations.
So basically, it's a little over 5 miles of running with 8 stations ranging from
a
burpee
row,
box jumps or
burpees,
burpee broad jumps
Yeah.
to pushing
lunges.
one of the heaviest sleds you'll ever push.
120 meters. Or that's 60 meters, maybe. I can't remember.
It is. I think it is. Is it 80 meters?
80 meters.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Yeah. So I did that then before the school year started, just to finish off my year.
Right.
So yeah. So I threw
Because
that
those
in
that
and
are around here
sprinkled it in.
locally, if you belong to the gym here in Wiggins, they have every piece of equipment to complete
single
a
one.
full high rocks here.
Yes.
So you can go like I did and went to Pasadena and did it, which was cool.
Oh, you're amongst how many people are there doing it with you?
Yeah,
in the environment, and you're enclosed.
it was very cool,
It
but
had
you
to be
can
great.
do it right here training. You can
Yeah.
do a full high rocks, which at the time we didn't have all the equipment to do that.
No.
We had clothes,
We didn't have the skier,
but
we had everything else but that.
yeah, but now it's like there's no.
So if you
excuse.
guys want to do these things, we'll do them with you.
we can
we
set
love
up a day.
Yeah, we'll get it done. So I did. So I did that one, and did it by myself, kind of like the Ironman,
Tough.
just to do it because there's just things I want to do.
Mhm.
But I'm a cheap ass. You know that. I don't want to spend the money to go to Pasadena. They
Well,
didn't have one in Denver, so I'm just
High
gonna do it
Rocks
right
has
here. We
never
have it.
been local, and that's my biggest gripe. Their United States headquarters is here in
Can't
Denver,
do one in Denver.
but they don't do one
Is it
here.
the altitude? Are they scared? What's going on?
I think maybe that convention center is too pricey.
Oh,
That's all I
That
can
would make
think, because
sense, I
that's
guess.
the one place I could see them
because
putting it.
that's where it'd have to be if you're.
Yeah, or they could do it. No, I guess it would have to be that.
That would.
Yeah.
So
So
so did that, and now I got to think about what's the next year, right? I'm not going to do the 100-mile with you.
hey man, it's one of those things. It's like when I got done with the 50, I said I would never do that again, and I was serious.
Yeah.
Um,
You did the 50 through Moab, right? I mean, so that's different.
Yeah,
So-
that was a tough choice of race to pick for your first 50. In fact, at mile 31, one of the first aid people there said, "Why did you pick this as your first one?" He's like, "This is hard." I'm like, "Yeah, it is." But this one's going to be flat. It's like a
Right.
good beginner.
All on road.
It's all on like crushed
Okay.
sandstone. It's built. They say it's just kind of runs along an old railroad track.
All
Like
right.
well, like part of it's like a mile and a little over a mile in a tunnel, like an old railroad tunnel. It'll
Do
be-
you have the flashlight on your hand? to go through
yeah,
it, or-
that's what they say.
Really?
Yeah, and you're gonna have that with you anyway because this will take me 24 hours.
You'll have that. So is it a loop or is it just?
It kind of, I think it has some finger loops off. I don't remember. I don't, but you're not. I don't.
You're not starting and finishing in the same place.
No. You are,
You
but
are,
I think it. I don't think it's like an out and back. You're not covering the same.
It's just one
Yeah.
50 miles and we're coming around and make it back.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's.
so- and that's gonna
So
be
we'll
fun.
see how it goes. Yeah. So my cousin from Michigan has been on me to do an ultra for a long time since I finished the 50, and then so he finally. We talked about it when we decided together. I'd like to blame it on him, but he has the text messages that blame it on me.
All of my
So-
cousins just hang out and drink beer.
Well, this
So,
yeah.
Perfect.
Well, this cousin will probably be done hours before me. He'll be done, have a shower, and probably eaten a couple meals before I get in. But it's whatever. So my goal is to break 24 hours. The cutoff is 30, but I do have a goal. So we'll see how it goes.
That's awesome, man. And that's,
But it kind of brings us up to
yeah,
okay, we train.
we train.
We train right now drastically different.
Yes.
However,
Yes.
um,
Kind of.
yes, but it gets us
Same.
into. I look at there's three aspects of being all around fit, right? I look at it as aerobic or monostructural cardiovascular. Look at it as like a gymnastic kind of overall fitness, and then a strength. And I think that builds the whole machine, right? And sometimes we build different parts of the machine at different times. Like
Right.
when you're saying you were doing your half Ironman triathlon, cardio based,
Yep.
heavy aerobic, right? Not having to do a ton of squats to get through that.
No.
But you're having to breathe heavy for long bouts of time to get comfortable with that.
Right.
Now, when you're into your JAG training, your aesthetic bodybuilding kind of training, it's moving weight, a lot of weight in time. You know, it's not all got to be super fast like
No.
a CrossFit type thing. But I'm just saying, making tears in your muscle fibers is what is going to get you to the goal you want.
Bringing blood to those muscles,
Right.
yes, and doing it at a pace where you are still shedding fat.
Great.
But again, you are working on strength more so than you're working on aerobic or anaerobic
Yeah, it's
capacity.
biased, right?
Yes.
And that's what we're going to talk about today a little bit is if you had to create 3 workouts that tested overall fitness capacity that you could revisit, say, quarterly, twice a year, once a year, or whatever, to see where your growth is. And growth may shift.
Oh,
It may shift, or it may just overall get better in all areas.
Yeah.
Right?
and I think that's where, as you have those goals each year, like you've had, so you did the 100 or the full year,
Full year of hero
Hero
lots.
Lots.
Yeah.
and then now getting to run this 100. So your goals have shifted. So your
Completely.
training's going to shift. And so
Yeah, it's going to
what
be
you're working on.
vastly different, right?
Yeah.
And I love CrossFit. That's where I enjoy it. I enjoy working out that way. But it's going to be limited now.
Right.
Where I was doing it every day for 365 days, now it's once
to
or
go from one
twice,
extreme to the other.
once or twice a week.
Yeah.
And that's just because I like it.
And how's the body taking that? Because and you gradually did this.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just an overnight.
Right.
Oh shoot, I'm done now.
The
I'm gonna start running
365, it fared fairly well. I was actually surprised. I was worried about because a lot of those hero wads are heavy, but you can, if they're heavy, that's right. I slow down. I just make singles out of something. Five power cleans at 225 or 5 single power cleans for me at 225, and there's going to be rest in between, and I'm going to get it done because it's a hero wad. Now that I've shifted into just running, I actually feel this a lot more than I felt 365 days. It's crazy.
It's just,
Yeah.
But your
So-
body's not accustomed to it yet. Probably
Exactly.
by the end of it,
Exactly.
you'll be.
And I remember when I
Where you were
trained for the 50, like the first 8 miler I hadn't run 8 miles in one chunk in years since marathon training. And I walked. I walked a lot. And I was like, oh my God, I'm assuming I'm going to get
be able to run 50 miles. I can't even do 8. And that was at the very beginning.
Right.
And then at the end of training for a 50 miler, an 8 miler would have been actually speed work. I would have actually pushed the pace to
Okay.
be like, how quick can I do 8? You know, can I
Yeah.
get this done in an hour and 10 minutes or something like
Right.
that? You know,
Yeah.
where now it's just like, get it done,
Just go.
you know? So, but yeah, so goals have shifted. But like I said, I've been doing this just endurance training for a month and a half or so, but I went back and did a CrossFit workout that I was alluding to with 115-pound thrusters the other day.
Right.
It felt really heavy.
Oh yeah.
It felt way heavier than 115 pounds should. And that's how quickly that switched. Just,
Just
I'm
couple
doing a
months
little more
doing
running
this.
now. And this like, oh gosh, 115 felt like 165, honestly. So I scaled it. I went to 95. So
That's all right.
not a big deal.
Scale.
Mhm.
Make sure you're doing that to not get injured. But I think that's how you talked about the overarching fitness, right? And trying to gain here, you're going to lose here, but let's try not to lose too much here.
Yeah,
And
let's
how to
limit
keep
it,
everything,
right?
yeah.
I don't want to be done with this, lose 20 pounds, which we all know if I lost 20 pounds, it'd be 20 pounds of muscle. And just because of the training I'm
You
doing,
didn't have skinny
I
fat.
do not want to do that. And
No.
I've been there. I do not want to do that. I know I'm going to lose some strength.
Right.
But let's limit it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I kind of reached out to you and was like, hey man, if I'm going to do this training, what do you think to basically maintain?
Right.
What do I got to do? I know there's going to be losses.
Yes.
Let's just mitigate those.
But we want to
So-
still maintain the muscle mass throughout the rest of the body and not lose.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to lose some
Yes.
weight, but
And the nutrition has to be big into that
Yeah,
as well.
it's
to
a
make
lot of
sure
food.
you're not.
Yes.
You've got to be eating probably close to 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day when you're really training.
when it's a heavy day, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like carb cycling, right? Because
Right.
there's days that I run
You're gonna need it.
35 minutes, and then a day like today, I had to run an hour and a half. So that really dictates how much. Like if I just decided 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day, probably going to go a little overboard,
Right,
like
yeah.
you're saying. So as far as like you're big into the carb cycling, it's kind of like that, but it's more calorie cycling for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Okay.
So it's just going to be different every day, depending on that weight of training.
That's another conversation for another day, I think.
It is,
That'd
it
be
is.
a great one.
But this is
About
where I think it's great to have us both because, right, bodybuilding, aesthetics, that kind of thing is not my bag. Never has been. Well, it has been,
Right.
but I didn't
Yeah,
know a
you-
lot about it
Yeah.
when I used to do it. But now it's like on days that I either run shorter or days that I have a rest, I'm going to lift. But should I probably do CrossFit? Probably not.
Right. Yeah.
Because my CNS needs a break.
Yes.
A lot of
The
things need a
volume, the
break.
intensity that you're
Right.
doing in
Right.
those workouts.
Let's step back.
Right.
Right. And probably even step back a little bit from how you would do the same workout session.
Right.
I'm probably going to slow it
You're
down.
probably not going to
Right.
superset. Try
Right.
to go for it. Right.
So then I lean on you like, hey man, what do you got?
Yeah.
So, and you say, I got actually about 2 years of this stuff. You take a pick. So it's really nice. So that's why I kind of lean on you because it's something that I don't really have a lot of expertise in.
Right.
But I know you're going to point me down the right direction to maintain what I have. And you're not going to burn me out on days that I'm really not running.
Yeah.
right?
And
So-
I think if we did that, you'd probably get injured.
Yes.
And then the whole 100 days. And I think that's something important as we talk about what we're saying here in overall arching fitness and health is as we age, and we're
What?
45 and older.
Yes.
And I think probably most of the people around us and what we do. I mean, we have some younger clients, but most of our clients are our age group.
Right.
And so how to train smart and not lose time from injury.
Right.
That's a big one.
And the biggest thing is whether you're doing your high rock stuff, even though you did these on your own, right? Your high rocks, your half Ironman, my 100 that's coming up, our 24 for 24 that we've done. You want to show up to that day healthy.
Yes.
You don't want to start a 100-mile race or a 24 for 24 or high rocks already hurting.
No.
Because you're already behind the 8 ball.
And you don't want to ultimately miss it.
Right.
You want to complete this and then you want to be ready to go the next day.
Exactly.
Instead of having to take a month off. Because then I think you really see atrophy and you see.
Yeah, because we are older
everything
as well.
moves, right.
Yeah.
So, and then the body shifts. So,
So then, These are tests.
These are tests.
These are basically saying, hey, these are tests to see how well-rounded we are as an athlete, and then see how we train for a while and then retest. Or for like myself, it's a test to see what kind of athlete did I start this 100-mile endurance program as, and how did I finish?
Right.
And mine's probably going to skew well one way, but I'll be able to see like, wow, my strength went down, but maybe not as much as I thought.
Yep.
Or my strength went down and whoa, yeah, I
Right.
really went off to this other side of the pendulum here. So it's just a good test to see I look at it as it's a test to see, is my training aligning with my goals,
Two goals. Yes.
or is where my training leading me go along with my goals, or is this what I expect?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what we're down. So
Yeah.
I think let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Let's
And
get to it.
I think, as I looked at this and we talked about this, I took it back to the presidential fitness test, right?
Right.
Of kids.
Yes.
And they do that every year here at the beginning of the year. And then they look at it at the end of the year and kind of see where the kids
Right.
go.
Right.
And so you got your sit-ups, your push-ups, your sit and reach. What else do they do on that? They have the 1 mile run on that. So all those things are overarching fitness, right?
Mhm.
All those things. You get
Yeah.
your strength, you're getting your aerobic, you're getting your anaerobic because it's just a 1 minute I guess it's more of an aerobic with the 1
Yeah,
mile, I guess it could be. But then how many sit-ups can you do in a minute? That's strength with also.
It's
It's
strength-ish,
also-
yeah.
So, and anaerobic and gymnastics. So I think, we have that arching for kids, okay, where we start. Now we're just bumping it up a little bit.
Bumping it up
To
to,
the adult
people that-
world and
yeah,
fitness
because
world.
these kids aren't pushing weights.
No, they're not.
But yeah, we're saying for your average Joe getting into it, wants to lift weights, wants to get better at this and that. All right, here's
Here's your test.
a test.
There we go.
And you'll see these can be drastically different,
Yeah.
even between us,
I
how
think
we
so.
look at
And
it.
I love it.
Yeah.
As we look at this,
Yes.
this morning I kind of went through it and last night started, but it's like, I love it. Okay, I love where he's at and then
Yep.
where I'm at. And looking at both of us and what we do, Brian does have more of the monostructural in his test, and I have more of the unistructural where I'm
Right.
adding more elements in.
So let's look at that. So like, I think testing aerobic capacity, right, is
Yep.
one big one.
Yep.
And when I say aerobic capacity or monostructural, we're looking at where you're having to use a lot of oxygen for a prolonged period of time. So I look at it as running, machines, cycling, swimming, things like that. Like we're just going to see how well we use oxygen to propel us to do whatever we're doing.
Yeah,
Right?
and I think you find those in our Yeti challenge as well.
Yeah.
You have so let's 5K. Can we get it
Yep.
under 21 minutes
Right.
or 22:30?
Right.
We see that in the 5K row.
Right.
Can we get that in under 7 minutes?
Right.
Or is it 2K row? Sorry.
Well, yeah, see, and that goes back to like if I was going to test this, and this would be one of my 3 tests that I'm going to do. I want to test just pure
Just straight
Just
up.
aerobic
Where are you at
capacity.
on that?
I would say 5K run. I would say, actually, I could go 2 mile run. I could go 2 mile run, 2K row, 250 cals or 200 cals for women on an assault bike.
Okay.
That one's going to be a little longer. 2 mile run is you're just looking at 20 minutes or less for most people. But you can try to really move it.
So
2K row might be the worst possible thing ever.
and trying to go in that time
Yes.
frame. Yeah, you're gonna work
For our Yeti challenge? Yeah, going off of those times, but
That's
yeah, just pushing yourself to do that. You're going to have a good snapshot and can retest that. And you're going to have, it's still plenty of time to see good growth or good step back. Like if you just wanted to train Olympic lifting for a while, you're going to step back.
Yeah.
Right.
you
So
would.
I would say 2 mile run, 2K row, 250 cal or 200 cals for women on an assault bike. Good challenge.
I think it's a great challenge.
Yeah.
So
How would you test?
I think kind of the one that I have here is again, I've taken mine to the little more overall arching where I
Mhm.
put everything kind of together in the workouts.
Gotcha.
So I've got a little more strength in there
Right.
instead of just looking for that cardiovascular. Where
Sure.
are we at with everything else too?
Yep.
And I think kind of the one that still go back to is Murph,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you are incorporating everything. I mean, this
I
is
agree.
elite forces train this, right? I mean, this isn't just
Right.
your average dudes out there.
And
I mean,
real
we do
quick,
it.
we'll cover this real quick. What Trent or Dr. Kerr's talking about is Murph. It's a hero WOD for CrossFit. It leads with 1 mile run.
Mile run.
It has 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squat, and ends with another 1 mile run.
Yes.
So aerobically, it's long.
It is long.
And this goes like this is basically the presidential fitness on steroids.
It's all in one.
So this is it is all encompassing. I will agree with you. This is a great test
It is a great test, and it's something
that I suck at.
but it can break down your body, right? I mean, if
Oh,
you're so you have to be vigilant of that and make
Yes.
sure hey, I'm going to go out and try this and see what I do.
Yeah.
You want to train for it, know where you're at, but it is something that I think you can train often. I think you can do it on every.
Well, there was a guy that did
every day,
Murph
for
every
a
day
year.
for a year. Yeah.
which is wild. There's another guy that did Ironman every day for a year. Well, he did 101 days, I think, is what he did.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. But
It is nuts.
Um,
That's crazy.
I love it because it has everything into it. Because you are adding strength, you are
Yep.
adding some gymnastic in there with your pull-ups.
Yep.
You are adding, and then with your your
Well,
aerobic as well.
and what's good about it is you do have gymnastics and you have pushing, pulling, squatting,
You have
all in the same,
all
all the same
functional
thing. So,
movements.
I know people that are great pressers. I know people that are great pullers, and I know people that are great squatters. But to have all three, like my linchpin on this workout, I'll be quite honest with you, it's not for you, but it's push-ups.
Right.
Like I can do pull-ups fairly well.
Right.
My squatting endurance is
Oh,
not
you-
bad because
you're really good. Your squatting endurance
is not
and that's
bad,
probably my linchpin in this is
and especially with
Yeah,
the little
getting
extra
down.
weight, right?
right. Yeah,
But,
it's that 20-pound vest,
My-
and you don't have to wear a 20-pound vest to do
Right.
it, but
But I'm gonna get stopped with push-ups, and that's where I get crushed by you, is because your pressing capacity, especially at that weight, body weight wise, is because you're able to do it all day.
and he makes fun of me for lifting chest every day.
So
Why would you when it comes down to that?
when it comes to this, I don't.
So-
Because Trent, last time we did Murph was back from his mile run before I started, his last one. So I was finishing up my rounds of Cindy, and you were back.
Yeah, but you were doing your 365 days of
Right,
hero
but
watts too.
it doesn't matter.
You were.
It doesn't matter. He was back
You were
before I
at-
set out. So
So
it just shows you, there's strengths here. But if you were to separate them and do a 2 mile run and then Cindy, which is
Which is-
basically Murph
20
and
minutes.
separating out those miles, Cindy
So,
is my problem because of the push-ups.
so the 5. So in Cindy, what you do is 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats.
Right.
And it's a 20-minute workout.
20-minute workout, getting as many of those as you want. And my goal is always 20. So that's why I guess
Right.
that's why I separate Murph.
Yeah.
Because that would be the same amount of reps as Murph, and 20 is always my goal because then you're going basically every minute on the minute.
Try that every minute on the minute. It's fun.
There's one called Chelsea that is 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes of every minute on the minute.
Yes.
Cindy.
That's a great one too.
Oh my God. I can't do it.
I love both those.
But what's funny is if you separate that out, a 2 mile run, I feel I can hold my own with anyone.
Oh, for sure.
Cindy, I cannot, right? Because when you compare you and I to Cindy, it's probably a 7-round difference in 20 minutes, 5 to 7
I'd
rounds,
say 4, maybe.
4 to 7, depending on the day. So it just shows you where my little linchpin is pressing, So
Yeah, and then like you say, you have the 2 mile run.
Right.
I'm probably a good 45 seconds behind you. I would say by the time that's
ish.
over. I'd say we're pretty close. I'd say
I'd say
within
we're
that.
pretty. I'd say we're pretty even. Yeah.
Not right now. I guarantee you.
Okay, not right.
I would
But,
say that. So yeah, but I love both ends of that where you're just straight up, okay, here we go.
Right.
And then, but I like that other side of it too, where we're gonna add
Right.
a little more into it. So
Right.
either way you roll with it, but
Yeah. Either way, you roll with it, and then another way is like if you were going to test endurance and gymnastics, Trent's way, or just make sure you're clocking your first mile, how long
Yeah.
it takes you to do the work, and your second mile. Because you retest that and you might be within a minute or so, but you might have changed aerobically.
It's a great point to bring
Right.
up for sure. 'Cause
So,
you will. Yeah.
Did I
So-
change aerobically or did it change gymnastic
Right.
endurance wise?
Yeah.
So it's good to just clock all that because you might beat it by 5 minutes and it's all in the Cindy work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you're like, man, so, and then you're like, so really running wise, I haven't gotten any better,
Right.
but like body weight endurance, I've been crushing it.
And-
So that, and it would be good to know that.
I love your point of bringing up that because I've done that just for myself, right?
Right.
And didn't ever think about it from year to year, and I'll track kind of where I'm at.
Right.
And every year my miles stay the same. It's usually the Cindy portion or however I break
Right.
it up
Right.
into that's what changes.
Right.
So where am I at? And I think you're right. A lot of it comes down to, I know one year, the push-ups, I was not good at it. And
Oh, gotcha,
we were
yeah.
doing, I was doing a ton of CrossFit, but I wasn't doing any,
Pressing.
there was nothing going on there.
Right.
And
There's
I
not
was
a
like,
lot going on there.
oh,
yeah.
I got to get back into that
Yeah,
a little bit
yeah.
to get that. But yeah, aerobically, sorry, I am basically the same all the time.
Samesies,
Yeah,
right? So then we get into, because that kind of takes care of my gymnastics, right? Is how could I test just gymnastics or body weight? And I think Cindy is probably hands down the best, right?
Yeah.
But I would also be willing to change that up just a little bit and test it like, say, this would be kind of different, but I could do 10 pull-ups, 20 push-ups, 30 GHD or sit-ups, and 40 air squats. So we're putting more volume together, and I might do that for a 20-minute AMRAP. I might do that for 5 rounds. But then I'm getting a little more pulling capacity because a lot of people can do 5 pull-ups.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Right?
Just,
But you add 10, it's gonna push a lot of people. Then you get to 20 push-ups. Not many people are doing that unbroken.
yeah, in a row, maybe first round, maybe second.
Maybe.
After that.
Yeah, I'll probably get the first one, and I'll push for it. And then after that, I would break them up. And then 30 GHD or sit-ups is quite a bit.
Yeah,
Of
I
volume?
think if you're sit-ups, I think most people kind of,
Yeah.
I'd be used to my head to break it up, but
Right.
GHDs, now
Right.
we're really pushing that.
Totally
Let me
different.
see where
And
we're
I'm
at.
not saying everybody jump on a GHD.
For
because for one, that would be irresponsible and it's unsafe, but we can work up to
Right.
that. But like for Michelle, that's
And
no
then-
big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
30 GHD is like her whatever, and then you get like Aaron and then 40 air squats is no big deal.
And those air squats, I'm telling you, you do 40 in a row.
Burning.
It's your body, but hitting depth.
Yeah.
Standing it up. Some people have problems standing it all the way up.
But it's rather
But-
burny.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
So you're definitely gonna be shaking like that.
but you get volume in that. So I would more like 5, 10, 15. It's a great test. And when you're trying to move super fast, it's a great test. But I kind of like this test gymnastic wise because it's a little more volume and it's going to push you a little more. And then I can see in 6 months or so a little more jumps, either good or bad,
Right.
depending
And
on
you'll
what
know
your
where
goals
your
are.
strengths are and where
Right.
your weaknesses are. And
Yeah.
that, for sure, you'll be able to tell if, okay, so this first time I did this, right, I broke it at 10 push-ups. I
Yeah.
could not even get to 20.
Right.
Well, next time I got to 18. Okay, so we're getting
Exactly.
stronger there. And then the next
Exactly.
time, shoot, I made it 2 rounds. So
Exactly.
you're going to be able to know where you're at. So I like that too. And I just have my gymnastics still with Murph.
And I'm fine with that.
That's where
I'm
mine
totally
went. That
fine
stayed
with
in
that.
there
Yeah,
with the whole aerobics. So
totally fine with that.
I guess if we're bringing it into the strength portion,
Which I think is,
right?
in my mind, and you can tell me if you think different, this is my third component. This is what brings it all together.
All together.
I think this makes the machine. Your cardiovascular, your gymnastic, and your strength, for me.
So are you saying like it's the third wheel? Or are you saying that the strength is like the number one
I
component?
think
to
they're
make sure
all
everything's-
together. I think
everything's
they're all
together?
33.3
Okay, I got you.
repeating.
I got you.
They're all equal to me.
Yeah, I would say
For overall.
for overall.
I'm not saying for everyone they're equal.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm saying
that's what
if
you're
you were to
trying
say,
do.
if you're trying to build a perfect athlete,
Okay,
they're
okay,
all
I'm
these.
with you, yeah.
They're all-
I can't disagree with you there. I think you're right. As I look at, and I don't know why, but lately I've been thinking about the age thing, right? And as we get older,
Mhm.
and so we are going to lose. I think we don't have to. We don't have to, but I think we're going to lose some aerobic capacity.
Oh, for sure.
Through life, we're going to do
I've
that, and we're going
I've
to lose
seen
strength.
it.
We're going to lose everything.
I've seen it.
Like-
Like my fallback pace used to be 8-minute miles.
Right.
For almost anything, right? Like I did a marathon at 8-minute miles.
Nice work.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's
But that was a long time ago.
yeah,
And now my fallback pace is 9-ish.
right.
When you're just like, oh, I'm feeling good and I'm fine. Look at my watch. I'm like, oh, I'm around 9. Where 15 years ago, it used to be a minute faster, same like RPE. Let's
And
say.
probably doing the same work. You're probably working out more now and trying.
Oh, for sure.
More, but
For sure.
So, but your strength, how has your strength gone from 15 years ago to now?
Oh, it's much better.
So your strength has increased.
Yes, but 5 years ago, it might. I don't know. It's hard
Where
to.
you're at.
Yeah.
So that's one thing is as we do age and we get older, and you look at all the elderly people with hips and
What are you
falling
considering
down.
elder?
You're almost there, but I'm still on. I'm still on
Yeah.
about now. I turned
Gotcha.
45, so I'm getting closer. But you look at, I guess, our parents, right, as they're starting to age, and aunts and uncles as they're getting older, and you get nervous about that strength because they stop doing any of that. They still go out and walk, maybe.
Right.
They still
Right.
do yoga,
There's
maybe.
movement,
Yes, but they're not doing any strength training. And without that strength training, it's going to be hard for them to get off the pot or bend over and garden.
I
and
see what you're doing. I see what
whatever.
you're doing here.
See,
I see what you're doing here. You're
So,
trying to talk me into this being a bigger
All right.
part of the wheel
I am.
because you're saying, and I actually will agree with you on this one. Strength as you get older should be a bigger part of your wheel because it's going to affect the other two.
Yes.
Okay.
If you don't have that, then you're not going to be able to do anything else,
Right.
right? So you have to have.
So
that
if I'm
strength.
65 years old, I should be pushing weights more than I'm just going out and walking.
I
and running.
believe so. Yes.
I agree. And they
So-
say, I do agree with that. As we age, the stronger your legs are, the longer the length of your life.
Long length of life, and you're going
Yeah.
to be able to have a quality life on your own,
Right.
without assistance.
Exactly.
And I think that's what we all want.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be. Well, some people might want to wheel around in the,
Yeah.
the old folks' home and go
Yeah.
chase skirts, but
Yeah.
I don't know. So
I got you.
I
I
for
see
my
what you did
strength-
there.
so which I love it. So your strength, and I mean, trust me, your strength is where I was living at that you have on this in February of this past year.
Right.
This year, I guess,
Yes.
where I was looking for that 1,000-pound club. Never joined it in my life. Never even thought of it.
1,000
really.
pound club. Let's go over this real
Okay,
quick,
hit it.
guys. It's something I haven't gotten. I was going to try to hit it before I started this 100-mile endurance. I
Yeah,
wasn't
we
close
talked
enough.
about this, and then like it was what 10 days later.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna do this 100.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So anyway, it's deadlift, it's bench,
Bench press.
and it's back squat added together.
Yes.
So
So-
the sum of those three lifts added together over 1,000 pounds for men is considered outstanding.
Is it outstanding?
It's considered great.
I love it.
Yeah.
And Rogue came out with the deal. I just am
Yeah,
too
you can
lazy
get a
to pay the
shirt.
$30.
Yeah,
I'm like,
You
too
get a
cheap.
cool shirt.
Like we can design that
Yeah,
shirt. totally
exactly.
cheaper than that. But
So, and Trent has hit that, and Tristan has hit that.
Tyson has hit that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, we have quite a few kids here at school that have hit that
Yes,
and are even moving up to 1,200.
that's
And so
that's awesome.
It's thanks to a bunch of our training that we have, because your strength training, some of the JAG, and then some of the other things.
Yeah,
that we
it's
do.
perfect.
So these kids are utilizing that, and
That's
that's
awesome.
what we're working. But so I love where you're at with the squat, and then the pull. What are you talking about with your pull? Is that pull ups or is that deadlift?
That's a deadlift.
Okay.
So yeah, I think a squat, a deadlift, a press,
So
because I don't want to limit it to three.
right.
Um,
And I
I
agree
think
with you.
strength wise, there's a number of ways to do this. I think a deadlift is pulling from the floor. I think a bench is obviously
Right.
strict press with your chest. Back squat, I think a shoulder press is a big one. And then what else was I thinking? I was thinking a row.
Okay.
I was thinking an actual upright barbell row.
Okay.
And you could do those, you could test those 5s, 3s, or 1s. But I think just absolute strength in those. Shows you everything you need to know because you're pulling from the floor, you're pulling from a different plane, you're pressing a straight plane above you, pressing straight plane out from you, and then a squat's a squat.
Squat, and the squat's probably the major. I mean, deadlifts too. I didn't think about a lot of things that we do in our daily lives
Right.
come back to squats and to pulls from the floor
Right.
and to make sure we're doing it safe. And so I love where Brian's at. And like I said, that was kind of where I lived in this
Right.
last cycle from December to February. That's where I was at. And then I hit that and was happy. And it's like, then I looked at my body a little bit. It's like, oh, I'm a little fluffier than what I wanted to be.
But mass moves mass,
Right.
you know,
And so
mass
it was-
kicks ass.
It did.
Yeah.
I felt good. I felt strong.
Yes.
But then when we went to the 24 for 24, I realized, oh boy. And I started training for that, but I
Yeah.
realized, oh man, okay, I
It's a
gotta
lot-
get my aerobic capacity up
a lot
little
of
bit.
fitness
And-
involved in that.
So what I have with this is basically the same thing. And so squat, bench, deadlift, and push press. I didn't think about, the row. I like that.
I just like
And
a
I even
different
like
plane.
pull-ups, just
Yeah.
pulling your body up either way.
Yeah.
But what I did was change it up a little bit. And again, I don't know why it's been in my head lately, but it came down to as we age, right?
Mhm.
So I think for people that are doing this and lifting hard and doing things that we're doing, I think that going for the max is great. Let's do it. I think we're still at that age we can do that.
Yeah.
Probably over 50, maybe we need to start backing off. We'll see where we live. I don't know. I haven't been 50.
I hope not.
I
after
hope not
50.
either. I want to keep going as well.
Right.
And I probably thought when I was 30 and 45, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore either.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
but what I'm thinking is this kind of goes back to our Yeti Din challenge where we have the 30 back squats in 2 minutes. But let's get rid of the number.
Right.
Let's just say, okay, we're going to go into the gym and we're going to do, I'm going to go 2 minutes of back squats at
Mhm.
my body weight.
Right.
And I'm going to see what I get.
Right.
And then I'm going to come back and then I'm going to do, rest a couple minutes, probably 5 minutes
Sure.
or so. And then I'm going to do my bench
Yeah,
press.
because this is
Or you can
strength,
do it on
guys.
different days,
Yeah.
too. It
This
doesn't
is
have to be the
strength,
same.
guys. So we're big rests in between are
rests.
fine.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but doing more of our body weight just to make sure that we're not pushing loads that will get us injured.
Sure.
And so that's kind of where I've switched it a little bit, and don't think I'm a pansy out there, everybody, because trust me, I'm going into the gym and I'm hitting
Hey,
this
man,
still.
if you could move your body weight
Oh,
with different lifts, like if I went with 190
yeah.
on bench, squats, deadlifts, and I couldn't row that probably very
No,
many
I don't-
times,
there's no
but
chance of doing that. But I can pull my body weight up,
yeah,
right?
pull your
So
body weight up. If that's all you lived at, you would be incredible.
You would be. And-
Incredible.
And so that to me is, and maybe deadlift, I don't know if we're going 2 times our deadlift because that's basically getting now to where we might be maxing out.
That'd be close, yeah.
But maybe 1.5 times. And then,
Yeah.
so that's where I've got the strength portion of mine, just a little tweak on it, just for those that are aging.
Dude, I like that. I actually really
That's-
like that. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So you're bench pressing body weight?
Just body weight.
Well, it don't say just body weight for some of
No,
us.
right, no. And you can even take that down.
You're like,
Whatever-
just body weight.
Whatever's comfortable to you.
Just
Every
body
day,
weight.
buddy.
I know.
Come on.
Just body weight.
But
Because
you can
I
take that
did
down to
one-
75%, right?
I did one that was like my body weight hero wad. And it was like 2 rounds. It was 24 each round. Dude, it took me a long time
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
because I'm not busting out even like 8 of those at my body
At your
weight.
body weight
Seriously.
right now.
No.
And so, but I think you can change these to fit what you
Sure,
wanted
sure.
for sure. But I
Just as
just
long
like
as you
that.
track it. But if it's something like, and this is me going out on a limb on your programming, so you tell me if I'm full of crap, but say my body weight's 185.
Okay.
And it can be from day to day. It just
Yeah,
depends.
where you're at.
And I can move, say I can move 185 for 2 to 3 reps.
Okay.
Just saying. I hope I could do that for
Right.
right now, but I bet it's not a ton more. And this is a 2-minute test?
2-minute test.
Do you want me to stay at 185, only moving 2 to 3 times? Or do you want me to go down?
I'd rather you go down. Let's go 75% of our body weight.
Okay.
And then, because we want to see, and again, I do want to see where your endurance is on this as
Mhm.
well. It's not just strength. It's kind of that whole piece of it is this right? And if we're like on our program, my programming with the JAG, our programming,
Mhm.
if we're doing, you're doing 2 to 4 really sets or working reps. that's all we're working is strength,
Right.
right? You're
Yep.
not going to see a whole lot of your body transform. You will over time,
Yeah.
but you're not going to see the hypertrophy that you get when we're trying.
It's not
to
a,
do,
yeah, it's not a
yeah.
hypertrophy set.
So
It's pure strength.
in
Yeah.
the programming end of it, I'd rather see you doing even get something where you can do 30 reps.
Sure.
Honestly,
In the 2
minutes, but we're bringing blood flow.
Now,
into
would
that
you
muscle.
say, since I'm able to move that 2 to 3 times or whatever, would you like to see me lead off with maybe my body weight for a max set? Maybe it's 5.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
be like, okay, now I'll go down to
Now go back.
75%,
Absolutely.
rest,
Yeah. See where you're at.
and then next time I retest it,
Do the same
body
thing.
weight or
I think
185 because my body weight might have went up depending on my goals, and then max rep it, then retest at 75%.
It's like,
And
great
then maybe
tweak on the
next time, all right, scratch it. I was 2 to 3 reps. Now I'm 9.
Right.
Now I can probably test at 185.
then you can. I love that. I love where you're at. Love how you tweaked it. And then that does kind of lead me into my next one. And so this is my third, right? So I
Right.
had Murph, then I had that for strength. My next one is volume training, where I think it works your aerobic capacity. I think it works your anaerobic capacity because this is sprint.
It's muscular endurance for sure.
It is. You're no gymnastics in this. You can make it.
Well,
depending
it's
on
all
what you
external
do.
load, right? But
It is, and then your strength. But so for example, so I try to do this now after I did the high rocks.
Mhm.
Now I try every Saturday morning for 28 minutes. I'll go down into the basement, and for 7 minutes I'll do legs. So what I just got done with, so the last 8 weeks I've been doing box step ups. So
Yeah,
I'll grab a
right.
50-pound dumbbell, I'll put it on my back,
One?
and I'll go 150-pound dumbbell. Now I started that though. First time I did it, I had a 40-pound dumbbell. And I did it as many times as I could. So now the next Saturday, I'm coming back and I have to beat what I did last week. So this is a weekly test. Am I getting better? Am I getting worse? Am I injured? All that kind of goes through my head.
Which is this is great training that he's just going over for November 11th, guys, because I have a special WOD it's not my WOD for November 11th, but it's a WOD. That's a challenge WOD.
I like it. I'm going to be ready to go. By
It's
November
Chad.
11th.
It's Chad,
Chad.
Veterans Day.
Okay. Oh, nice. All right.
1,000 box step ups, 45 pounds.
I've seen that one. Yes. Okay.
done it twice.
Did you send that out to me earlier? Saying we're doing
Oh,
this?
I'm
Maybe
sure,
that's it.
yeah.
Because I was like, okay.
I've done
yeah.
it twice.
Oh, I'm in.
It's about an hour.
I am in.
I think our goal is to crush an hour. Well,
Okay.
not crush an hour, just beat it.
All right.
Because I've done it one time and
What day is that?
you've got to go. I don't know.
Okay.
Let me check.
But so
It is November 11th. It's going to be, it's going to be the day we're playing the state championship.
championship game Saturday morning. We wake up,
Crush it.
we get downstairs, we get it done.
Good.
I love it.
Okay.
And then for back, I did bent over rows.
Yes.
Okay. So I just had
What
barbell.
loads are we doing this
And
at? What
so-
percentage?
Now, again, you can do whatever you want, right? Just beat last week.
Okay.
That's the thing. So I go up to 50-pound dumbbells in my basement.
Okay.
That's all I have. So
Perfect.
that's what I use. So,
Okay.
and then for the bent over rows, I had the barbell and 25s. I didn't start at that. I think I started with 15s.
Yeah.
And I started going, because in my mind, I just want to get to 100, right?
Yeah,
Let's get to 100,
Yeah.
good form, make everything's right. By the end of that, I was going
So what do you
95
need in,
instead of
like,
75.
12 or 13 a minute.
Yeah.
I
Just-
don't,
yeah.
math's hard.
And
So
there- but
seriously,
there are
this is a
times-
guess.
There are times where I will be doing that. I'm like, all right, let's get 15 this minute,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
Yep.
let's rest, and then let's
Okay.
get 15.
So box step ups, rows.
Then over, but again, you can do whatever you want. So this next week, I'm going to start with lunges. That's tomorrow. I start with lunges tomorrow. Is what I'm doing. And then
with
I
an
have-
external load.
Yep, and then I have different for back, and then chest. So I did incline dumbbell bench. So I'm going to mix that up, and I'm just going to go from the floor. That's what I'm going to
floor
do. On the
press?
next one,
Okay.
floor press. And then for shoulders, I did Arnold press, but I'll do something different on this one as well.
And that's here.
So
to
yeah,
rotate,
turn,
and then-
rotation,
yeah,
and just
yeah.
getting all that in. And I think this round, what I want to do as I was thinking about this last week, was I want to do front raises just to get a little more in the
Yes.
front delts and in the traps.
Gotcha.
So, and it's more of it's an aesthetics workout.
And these are all 7 minutes, guys.
All
So
7
this
minutes.
is choose 4 exercises.
And 2-minute rest in between each exercise.
2-minute rest in between. This is going to be very important to number of reps and the weight used.
And the weight. So that's that whole volume training, right? And that's where, so the next week when you do this again, so make sure you
Is
track
this
your numbers.
German volume
German
training?
volume training.
Is it-
That's right.
The Germans.
Did you see that lady go off on those German guys in New York?
No.
Yeah, some German guys were in the subway and they're talking German. She comes over to him and is like, "Get out of our country." crazy.
Those Germans are causing
Right?
those
Oh
ruffians.
my God.
They're
I thought we were same
they're
team right now.
illegal. Yeah,
This is not
yeah.
1940.
I thought we're all copacetic.
But so yeah,
We
so
took out their leader, or he
We
took
did.
himself out.
We
Actually,
did.
he took himself out supposedly.
supposedly. But then yeah, so the next week, do it again. You can either you're looking for more reps or raise the weight.
Gotcha.
So kind of in my mind is as soon as I get to 100, if I have the weight, I'll move to the weight. And I'll
That's
try
what
and go up.
graduates you.
Yep.
Okay.
Is where I'm at that. So I love that again. It's just the whole thing, and I can do it weekly
Mhm.
to know where I'm at and gauge where I'm at. Mark,
And
I
a-
don't do every week.
And a big thing that Trent just touched on, which I've switched to, and I think it's awesome, is I've switched from just pure back squat or front squat, and I do a lot of barbell lunging.
Yeah.
Now, and I tell you what, nothing makes you more sore than a lunge or yeah,
Lunges
or a split squat.
It is
A
everything.
Bulgarian
Split
split squat with dumbbells. All I say is be careful,
I had a
because
heavy
you might
load.
not walk for a week.
I did a 12 and then 2x10 and then 3x8 on Monday.
Yeah.
Today I'm still sore.
Oh yeah.
And it was I've been doing squats. I've been doing everything.
Right.
But it is something different.
It
when
is.
You get that Bulgarian split squat.
Something
in there
different with
and,
lunges
the lunge.
and using that, doing something isometric.
Oh,
It hits you a totally different
It
way.
does.
And sometimes it's just a little switch you need. I'm
It-
not
it's-
saying go off of squats forever, but I know there are guys like Ryan Fisher, who I know you're a big
Yeah.
fan of. That's all he does.
yes, he does.
He
his
doesn't
knees,
squat at all.
right.
Yeah.
And so he did do a video with him and God dang it, not The Rock, but the other one, John Cena.
Oh, yes.
And John Cena's throwing up like
Crushed him,
700 some
yes.
pounds, but Ryan Fisher's got like 400 some. They're like, hey, I'm kicking butt though too.
Yeah.
He was,
He's
but he doesn't do it.
a freak.
And it's amazing
Yeah.
what they do. But so yeah, so that's kind of where I think my fitness test would come in.
Right.
I think both of them in
Yeah, mix
They're
and
great.
match. You could do whatever you want, but I just think you have these three big circles of fitness, and you can kind of create a bullseye and see where you're at when you test, and then see whether that circle gets bigger or if it moves into one realm more or the other.
what's your vice president's favorite circle? What is that called? Miss Kamala Harris, the
Kamala.
Venn diagram.
Yeah, it is. That's
Yeah,
what it
so
would
that's
be.
what we're doing. Where are we at?
Yes.
In the middle.
And is it grow because we get overall more fit in every aspect? Or does it shift?
Yep.
And I expect mine to totally shift. It's just if my fitness aligns with my goals, it should.
It should.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're retesting these and you're like, I'm gonna do a day that's just pure cardio every week, or you're training for the high rocks or this or that. Like if you're training for a high rocks, you hope that grows
You damn well
because
have
you
that
better be
growth.
doing heavy ass sleds
Yes.
and heavy ass pulls.
Yeah.
And
Well,
which is going to make you stronger.
And
well.
your heavy squats are going to definitely help you out with the wall balls, with the
Mhm.
lunges,
Yes.
with the farmer's carry.
Yes.
All of it. Because it's
And when I did it, the hardest thing is the sled push. Like I lost my shoe like 3 or 4 times because I came out of it because it's just the heaviest sled I ever pushed. And I trained for it here with the same weight, got there, and it's just a different carpet.
I wanted to ask you that
Yeah.
because we have the AstroTurf here.
Yeah.
And so what is it?
Much better here.
Much
I
better
would
here.
say here you should add 70 pounds
Oh,
to make it like that.
wow. And it's already 400 and
Yeah, it's heavy.
I mean, because I think it's 385 pounds without the sled, and the
Right.
sled's 50 pounds.
Right. I'd say add
Whew. So
say
you're
add
looking at 500
2 more
pounds.
35s to
Easy.
it here to make it. Yeah, because here I was doing them the segments unbroken, the 15 or 20 meter segments.
Right.
I was pushing it down, resting, pushing back, resting. There I had to break it up into 8 segments, 8 planned segments without losing my shoes. And then I'd lose my shoes and it was just an extra break, honestly.
Yeah.
But it was ridiculous. And then the pull, I think, was a little harder, but not like the push.
Okay. It's good to know.
It was
You can train
the
back for that
hardest
again.
thing. So, like if you're doing something like for like high rocks for something like that, like yeah, your fitness level should grow in all areas.
Right.
And if not, you're probably biasing, whether you know it or not, into one area or the other. And we all have a bias.
We
So even if you're programming for yourself or getting our programming, if you get his JAG programming, or I should say our JAG programming, or he does the body weight programming every week, I do the kind of CrossFit programming every week, I'm sure I have a bias.
Oh, anyway, definitely.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things. I know when I was training for High Rocks, our CrossFit programming had a High Rocks bias and a time component that kind of biased towards that. So
I know I get it. On the last 2 JAG sessions ago, I had a guy call me up and was like, "You trying to get a bigger butt here, bud? What are we doing? There's a
Right.
lot of peachiness to this."
Yes.
And yeah, I am trying to get a bigger butt.
Yep.
So I didn't really recognize it.
but
in
we
the
will
programming,
bias it.
It was in there. So
Yeah, we'll
so
totally
if
bias it.
you want a big butt, I'm still working on it. But
Well, and I'm doing
Get into
endurance stuff. So like yesterday's workout was 15, 12 cals. So 15 men, 12 cal women, but it was 15 bike, 15 row, 15
Yeah.
ski erg that you added a calorie to every round for
round.
6 rounds. So you started, and these are 6-minute rounds. So you start the first minute at 15, 15, 15, rest the remainder. Second time, 16, 16, 16, rest the
and
remainder.
that was really fun. I did yesterday morning. I had a
Perfect.
blast.
It
Yes.
wasn't it fun?
It was. I really
Yeah.
did. I enjoyed
And
it.
then I made another one for you this week that I meant
Okay.
to text you about. It was actually our Monday workout because it was bench press. So basically, you start out. This is to get to 100 bench press total,
Oh,
and you choose your weight.
yes.
So my weight was 115 because I don't bench really well. You start out with 10 cal ski, 100-meter farmer's carry with, I think I put 65, which is basically, I have farmer carry handles. So I was like
Okay.
65, 70. 100 meters, you come back, max rep bench press. You rack it, 10 meters, 100 meters. 10
10
cals,
cals.
100 meters. And you finished when you got to 100. And I thought, I got to tell Trent this is right up his alley.
So how'd it go?
It went okay.
Did it?
Yeah. I was pushing about, at the end, I think I had to push 12 to finish, but I think I had a couple rounds of 20-ish. I could have probably gone up a little bit, but I had a round of 8 in there as well. So
Whew. Oh, that's taxing.
it was.
Everything. Just
But
like
that's
my
at
grip strength,
115,
pull.
and you could probably do it at
Feel it?
145.
Oh, I don't know. I might try it at 115 to see how it goes.
But it was
Sounds good.
fun. It was a lot of fun, but it is, the bench press is your grip break because you have the
Oh,
10
yeah, 'cause
cal
you're doing
ski
that's what I was
that
saying,
you're
in
trying
a
to ski
row.
hard,
You're getting your
and then the
forearms.
farmer's carry.
But those forearms.
But when you come back, because like farmer's carry is a lot of upper back, right?
Yeah.
Just to stabilize. So you get back, you let those farmer's carry handles go, you're ready to press,
Okay.
right? So you're getting opposing muscle groups.
How about the forearm though? That's what I was saying.
Well-
Well, coming to that case, as you get that
True.
press and that's sitting on here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see
Float
what
up,
that's
yeah. But I really liked it.
spicy.
And anything, see, Michelle hates farmer's carry. I love farmer's carry.
I saw Aaron and Michelle doing it, and they weren't doing the farmer's carry.
No, they
They
skipped.
took that out.
And I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Like, so basically you didn't do anything and they deadlifted. So they didn't.
It's all different.
Yeah. Oh, no, they deadlifted as the sub for the farmer's carry.
Okay.
That's what it
All right.
was. But yeah, so
Okay.
guys, this is just us talking about maybe how you test for overall fitness.
Yeah. So I think
'Cause
it's
that's
come
what
down
we're
to some
searching
really good
for.
ones, and yours might be different, but find something where you can test, like you said, weekly, monthly, yearly, however that
Yes.
is for you, but to know where you're at and know where you need to focus on.
Yeah.
We are
See if
all
your
aging.
programming is going along with your goals.
Yeah.
You know, if you're really trying to get aesthetically like bigger, do bodybuilding, and your overall strength numbers went down, but you can row faster, maybe your programming
shift that.
maybe your programming sucks, and you need to hit up Hardline Health and Fitness because we'll steer you in the right direction,
get you there.
specifically of what you want to do. But yeah, so that's kind of that. I think we're gonna try to podcast again on a regular basis.
need
I
to
know
get
we
back
have
to it.
Cookie in the wings.
We got to get him in.
The boy lost
This guy.
about 30
He
pounds,
did awesome.
and he looks great, and
And,
he's still going.
And Mr. Bulis, Kyle Bulis, our owner's principal, did
Yes.
the same thing.
Yes,
He is down 30.
it's awesome.
Now he went on a little bit different trek than Cook did.
Yeah.
Just because he didn't start it right away.
Right.
But then he did, and his programming mixed up a little bit. He did a little bit of the jag in with
Perfect.
the Zero to Hero,
Yep.
but he started getting the diet down, and now
Guys, that's what shows you it's
This is-
diet.
it's
It's diet and movement. And
80%.
depending on what movement you like the best,
Yeah.
we can hook you up with that.
Absolutely.
So,
but the diet
Um,
is
so we'll try to get both of them in there,
I think it'd be great.
honestly. And then we'll keep you up to date with what we're striving to do. But also, we're going to talk at a conference,
yeah,
which is
It's coming
a big deal.
it is.
And I know you've been working hard on that, and I'll be helping you out here so we can get that all dialed in.
Well, you have
And
too. So yeah,
um,
we're going to be
but,
talking at the CASB conference for school districts.
yeah, school boards, because
And We have a couple schools that are actually interested. I was in a meeting yesterday, and a couple of them said, hey, they want to know what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how this impacts our insurance.
that's the biggest thing.
so yeah.
Yeah. So Trent's been working hard, getting the district and teachers here on board with working out, keeping them physically, their bodies happy, mentally,
Yep,
just to make an overall better individual,
we love it.
health-wise, like health, mental, spiritual,
The whole thing.
the whole thing, the whole
It's
package.
kind of like your fitness, right? Our mental has to be the same place.
Same
So
place,
We have
yes.
to have that Venn diagram.
Yes,
And
exactly.
where are we in that?
So we're working on that. We're going to be speaking there. That's going to be a lot of
I'm
fun. I know you've been working hard on that, and getting us in that was huge. So
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Me too.
I just like talking in front of big groups, so it's not a big deal.
Ready to roll.
I like it.
Heck
So
yeah.
not a big deal, guys. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining me again.
Man, we're
I
back.
appreciate it, Doc. So
Good job.
guys, we're back. And we're going to be back bigger and better than ever. And then I'm going to have to walk around here and then push stop. So it's going to look kind of,
Yeah, you
our
don't have
producer
producers standing here.
left. Hopefully she's not giving birth.
So everybody shut it down so we are not embarrassed as we're
Yeah,
walking through. your
As we're like,
meeting.
oh, we're done. And then you hear us talking while we're trying to figure out how to turn the computers on.
All
So
right.
anyway, guys, thank you very much. Hardline Health and Fitness
All right.
out.
Thanks.
Oh, let me try to figure this out. Hopefully we went live. huh?
She showed me how to shut it off.
End